Welcome back, everyone, for today's video. Today I'm going to be recapping round 2 of the August Action Chess Championship here at Chess Zone. Now, for this game, I am paired against none other than Archer Watson, rated 1908, and we each have 1 point. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the action. So Archer begins the game with e4, and I play e5, knight f3, and I play my... instead of knight c6, I'm more of a Petrov player, so I go knight f6. Here, Archer invites me to play knight c6, initiating the 4 knights game, and I was totally expecting him to go for a 4 knight scotch with d4. However, he chooses a bit more solid and reserved d3 move, which is still perfectly acceptable. Now I take control of the center with d5, and after a quick trade in the center, he actually surprisingly took my knight, and I was happy because I got my queen out, and I have more center control, and I'm almost gonna play bishop c5 and castle it, and I'll have more of a space advantage. So Archer played the move h3, and apparently the engine says I already have a significant advantage if I play the move bishop to f5 and prepare long castles and put pressure on the center. But I play bishop c5, which doesn't accomplish quite the same thing. So after bishop c5, Archer played bishop e2, I castled, and he went bishop to d2. Kind of playing very passively and seeing what I'm going to do next. I played the move knight to d4, and I first thought that after he takes, I have this queen takes g2 move, and his knight is hit and his rook is hit, and I had like telepathic powers. I thought that if he played bishop f3, queen takes f2 would be mate. I didn't realize the knight would be in the way, but I digressed. I didn't do that. So he played castles, and I was thinking, what should I do? Should I take the knight on f3? Should I take the bishop on e2? Should I play some other move? I ended up playing the move e4, basically opening the center of the board and inviting a bunch of trading. So Archer took my pawn, I take back. He takes my knight, I take back. Bishop c3, I take his queen, he takes back. And this game looks like it's gonna be pretty dry because we traded already the queen, both knights, and the position is very symmetrical. Both sides have both bishops. It's not any sort of imbalance or anything. So this will most likely end in a draw. So I just developed bishop e6, bishop f3, c6, saving the pawn on b7. And Archer plays a4, I guess intending to go b4 and push my bishop back. I don't really care. I play rook d8, and he goes bishop a5, attacking the rook. And, you know, I could take on d1, but I give him the open file, so I choose bishop b6, which is perfectly fine. After a quick trade on b6, Archer trades rooks on d8, and this is getting closer and closer to a draw. In fact, he offered a trade on d1, in which case I took, and now we have a bishop and bishops of the same color and 6 pawns, and no one has any real weaknesses, so this is just basically a dead draw. But nevertheless, we still play this out. King f8, f4, trying to gain some kingside space, I presume. King e7, king f2, king d6, king e3, king c5. Both sides are getting the kings active. And Archer here played the move c3, preparing to play b4 check. And I play b5. He takes, I take, and he goes king to d4, getting his king 1 square more active in the center. So I noticed that he's trying to get his king to e5, so hence I played the move f6 to prevent that. He played bishop to e2 check, and it doesn't really matter a whole lot where he moved the king, but I wanted to go king d6 because I wanted to control the c5 square so his king wouldn't infiltrate anywhere. He played b4, I just moved back to c7. He played c4, king d6, bishop d3, attacking my h-pawn. And I figured, what's the best way to deal with that? I was thinking about f5, but I think we didn't go for that because I noticed that check, and my king has to give way, and then white can invade with king e5, because f5 would vanquish the e5 square. I could have played the move h5, but that weakens g6 a little bit, so I resorted to playing g6 myself. So after g4, b6, I mean, this is very drawn, very boring. C5, quick trade, king c7, doesn't really matter a whole lot. I mean, white is slightly better, but human perspective, this is pretty drawn. Of course, an engine would find a way to press as white, but we are not having those capabilities just yet. So bishop c4 was what Archer chose to do, inviting me to go into a king and pawn endgame. And I spent a few minutes here trying to figure out if the king and pawn endgame that would result would be a draw. It turns out it was. So I was first calculating bishop takes, king takes, and I was a bit skeptical about this because white's pawn is more advanced, and maybe they could sneak around to a6 and b6, and I'd be in some sort of zugzwang, I don't know. But it's a draw. Similarly, I was thinking about defending my bishop like this, and if the trade happened in king e4, I was calculating like f5 check here, h5, h4, and I'm fine here. Like, I don't let white's king in. If white just goes here, we go back. If white ever does this, I always can attack his pawn and win, so we would just basically just shuffle back and forth. Just go back here. So, let me go back. All right. King c7, bishop c4, bishop to d7. Archer went bishop to g8 here, attacking the h7 pawn, and he actually offered me a draw right here. And I accepted because we both don't have anything to play for. It's a dead draw. We finished this game really quickly, and my next game starts in about half an hour, so I'm going to post this recap very soon. And so far my score is 1.5 out of 2, so hope you guys like this video. Stick around for the next 2 recaps. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button below, leave a comment, and like the video if you found it helpful and beneficial. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap it up. Bye!